Hi everyone, it is good to see you on this Friday. Welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we do begin with some new information regarding a deadly crash out of Spokane Valley. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones joins us now with the very latest.
Yeah, so what we know about this deadly and gruesome crash is that it was a single car that was speeding at high rates. It jumped over a stop sign going down East Valley Way and ultimately ran right into a tree, split in half. One person is dead. The passenger in that car was sent to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We got a chance to speak with neighbors. They said they heard a loud boom. Others have been trying to get in and out. Anyone who isn't living on the road is being redirected to other avenues that they have to use. But we also got a chance to speak with investigators. They told us the call came in at 5:45 early this morning, and they just know that it's going to take hours ultimately to complete this investigation, trying to get to the bottom of what may have caused this. Was there any type of issues that they have to look into? They've sent a drone up, just getting any type of shots. Photographers out here getting to the bottom of this situation. And as I mentioned in that conversation with the investigators, they described a little bit about what took place.
Well, I don't have a speed on it. I can tell you that cars don't generally separate even at highway speeds like that, so I'm expecting that the speed to be extremely high. We know that the occupants were eastbound in the car on Valleyway here, and they were actually coming through McDonald.
Investigators say they're not sure how long it'll take to investigate, but they'll do their due diligence and will try to send out an update later in this day. Reporting on scene in Spokane Valley, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you. On Thursday, the Spokane mayor and police chief addressed concerns about a rise in violence downtown here in Spokane. They did so during a press conference, this coming just days after an attack on the Monroe Street Bridge where 5 teens allegedly stabbed a man. The mayor and SPD saying drug abuse and young adults preying on people are behind the problem. Police Chief Craig Meidel says they are trying to combat these issues with an increase of officers on foot patrol around the city. He is also calling for more mentors, teachers, and coaches to instill strong values in the teens that they're working with.
They're sharing information about what they are seeing and experiencing, and their very clear expectations for increasing public interventions. Many of their concerns are about the juveniles roaming downtown, committing crime and disturbances.
Mayor Woodward says she hopes the safe open spaces ordinance she's introduced will help lower crime. Now, if passed, the ordinance would make use of a controlled substance in public without a prescription a gross misdemeanor. SPD could not say if drugs were a recent factor in the crime committed downtown, but they did say people can expect a larger police presence throughout summer events in the downtown area. And right now, a person is in police custody after a standoff yesterday near Moran Prairie Elementary School here in Spokane on Spokane South Hill. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez has the very latest from the South Hill.
Sheriff's Office deputies kept Glenrose Road closed overnight into this morning as investigators continued their work here on the South Hill. Yesterday, this of course started as a long SWAT standoff, and at one point there were more than 40 police officers and cars surrounding this man's home. Yesterday, Spokane County Sheriff's deputies were watching a 49-year-old man who had a warrant out for assault and robbery charges. Deputies tried to confront the man outside his house after he had caused some trouble at a grocery store. When deputies tried to stop him from going back inside, they say he started shooting and they shot back. During that shootout, the man made his way back inside his home. That started the long standoff before the SWAT team finally went into the house. They used a taser and took the man into custody. The sheriff's office sent out an emergency alert asking people living nearby to shelter in place. They also had to block a large stretch of 57th and Glenrose. All of this here happening right near Moran Prairie Elementary School, and we talked to one mom who says her daughter was terrified of what was happening.
Unfortunately, my daughter, who goes here, she's 10, heard everything on the news and heard me and her stepdad talking about it, and that is the way she walks home from school. So she didn't sleep much last night.
Besides the man police took into custody, nobody else was hurt in this situation, and now this investigation is in the hands of the Spokane Independent Investigating Response Team. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Thank you, Nicole. It is 5 minutes past noon right now. We're going to take a live look outside at meteorologist Thomas Patrick, where, Thomas, it is sunshiny just in time for the weekend.
Yeah, and the sunshine finding a few holes in those clouds, which are starting to grow and build thanks to the energy in the atmosphere. And I'll tell you what, the sun feels quite warm. Just off to my left, which is towards the west, there is the darkest cloud I've seen all this week, and that cell is moving directly over Brown's Addition right now. So let's zoom in on these scattered showers that are starting to pop up as of the noon hour. These cells tapping into that energy, the heat of the day energy in the atmosphere. And the cell I'm looking at is the one that's right here. So that's moving over Brown's Addition. Looks like there's another out towards the valley. So this activity is going to continue to pepper Doppler radar for the rest of the day, but not to worry, warmer days and drier days are ahead into the weekend. We're covering that in a few minutes.
The trial of Lori Velo continues today. Velo is accused of killing 2 of her children and conspiring to kill her husband's ex-wife. During testimony yesterday, we heard from one of Velo's closest friends, Melanie Gibb. Gibb told the jury that Velo and her husband, Chad Daybell, believed in, quote, light spirits and dark spirits. Many of their family members were considered dark spirits, including Daybell's ex-wife, Tammy, and Velo's children. Gibb says they describe dark spirits as zombies.
Those that signed contracts and made agreements with the Savior were light, and those that were dark were those that signed contracts with Satan. He really did believe that these entities were zombies now, or the people that they were hoping would pass away. He indicated that he believed they really were zombies.
In September 2019, Gibbs says Lori told her JJ was possessed by an evil spirit. That same month, JJ and Tylee were reported missing. Gibbs says Daybell and Velo asked her to lie to police when police were looking for the children in 2019. Gibbs secretly recorded a phone call between her and Velo.
I was wondering why you told the police why he was with me. I just needed to have somebody so I wouldn't have to tell them where he really was if they were going to tell Kay where he is.
The defense asked for the judge to dismiss Gibbs' testimony. The judge denied that request. The jury also heard from a detective from Arizona who investigated the death of Lori's ex-husband, Charles. For an in-depth recap of yesterday's trial, you can head to our website. We have everything posted there on KREM.com. A new Washington law bans the machine drug dealers use to make fake prescription pills laced with fentanyl. Governor Inslee signed Tyler's Law yesterday. It's named after Tyler Yates, a Mason County man who died last year from a fentanyl overdose. Police say he took what he thought was OxyContin, but turned out to be a fake pill laced with fentanyl.
There's no way to tell the difference between a real one and a counterfeit. And unfortunately, in this case, it was a counterfeit, which was fentanyl, and it was enough to end his life.
Pill presses, that's the machinery that turns powder into pills, are the most common way that drug dealers make the deadly counterfeit pills. They now will be considered drug paraphernalia in Washington state when the law takes effect this summer. The governor also says he is eager to sign 3 new gun laws into effect. The 3 bills headed to the desk would ban the sale of guns defined as assault weapons, hold gun manufacturers responsible when their products are used illegally, and require safety training and a 10-day waiting period for all gun buyers.
This type of bill, frankly, has got less attention, but the evidence is it can be maybe the most effective thing to reduce gun violence, to get people actually to understand the risk that they have and their family has, not only from homicides, but from suicides.
The bills have 9 days to reach the governor's desk before the end of the legislative session.